What's up, Internet? Cory here, collecting with Cory, and I am back for another tag video, 2 weeks in a row. This one I was tagged by the one and only Roaming Dan. Go check him out, link will be in the description below. The half and half challenge. Now, I'm not gonna kid you guys. I was fucking worried when I saw he was challenging me to this, because at face value, I thought I was gonna have to fucking drink some half and half and puke all over the place. So, fortunately, they just want me to answer 5 questions gaming related and 5 questions personal. Not too bad. Not too bad. I keep it real with you guys. I'm going to be looking off over in this direction because that's where I have the list from Dan's description. So, first video game question, we're just going to hop right into it. What game were you skeptical about that ended up being fantastic? This one was kind of hard for me, because I've said it before, I'll say it again, I don't play that many games, but very specifically, there was a time when I was younger that my mom worked at Toy Works, and every once in a while she would bring home some games that, for the most part, I'd never heard of, and some of these I selected myself. Like when stuff would go on clearance, it'd be a lot easier to get a Super Nintendo game, for instance, and the first 2 games I'm going to show you 3 here. The first game, I actually convinced her to buy because it was on clearance. It was probably less than like $5. Complete in the box, obviously, brand new, whatever. And that is Street Hockey 95. Never heard anybody else talk about this game, but I was coming off of being in love with NHL 94, so I was just looking for another hockey experience at this point. I hadn't realized yet that I had already found the best possible hockey experience / the best possible video gaming experience already in NHL 94, so I was definitely looking forward to trying this, but I was skeptical, because come on, if you've seen the box art, which I'll try and put something here, and you kind of have a reason to be skeptical. This is actually played from the side perspective rather than the overhead like they have in NHL 94. But it's a lot of fun, even if I don't really remember the mechanics specifically. The characters and the characterization was a lot of fun. I always used the guy with the dreadlocks and Power Girl on my team. Definitely a lot of fun. And I believe you could also play 4 players with this. The other game I would put in this, which this video is going to run long, I'm sorry guys. Another game we got on clearance. At the time, I don't think I even understood what the beat 'em up genre was. I had played Turtles in Time at the arcade and up the street at my friend's house. But if you look at the cover on this, come on. How could you expect this to be a good game? But it's not bad. It's actually probably my second or third favorite beat 'em up on the Super Nintendo, which is saying something. I mean, I did grow up with it, but still a lot of fun. Highly suggest you check it out. Kind of a spoiler for a future video since you haven't even seen it in the box. And the last game is definitely the biggest surprise, and probably the biggest one that I was skeptical about, because this one my mom brought home without even telling me. She just brought it home. I don't remember if it was for a present, could have been for Christmas, could have been for my birthday. It could have just been out of the blue, but Worms Armageddon for the PlayStation 1. I know I think it was my cousin, I think someone from work, one of her co-workers who was like around 20-something, said when this went on clearance to pick it up because it was a lot of fun. And she did. I don't remember how much she paid. She probably doesn't either. And it was great. I had a lot of fun with it. My cousin had a lot of fun playing it. He ended up buying it too. And I highly suggest it. This is probably actually the cheapest way to get the game is on the PlayStation 1. But whatever way you can play it, I definitely recommend it. On to the second question. Finally, I have 10 other questions. I've spent over 4 minutes on this shit. I gotta speed this up. If you could have any item from a video game, what would it be? This was actually the hardest question, because I feel like everybody's default answer is just the Buster Sword from Final Fantasy VII. I'm pretty sure I've heard other answers. That might have been Danny's answer. I watched his video like weeks ago, so I can't quite remember. But that would be it. Like, as far as an item from a video game, you can't really beat that. Like, I would just fucking love to have it as a decoration on a wall. I wouldn't be able to lift it, likely, but... next one is, what is the best video game related gift you got from a friend? I'm going to switch this to girlfriend, because Alicia got me their top-loading control deck complete in the box for the NES. And I can't think of any gift that would have been better than that. That's just it. What game do you enjoy that no one else knows about? Alright guys, I don't really consider this a hidden gem. It's just one of those games I ended up playing for Let's Play something that I went in completely blind, and I wasn't disappointed. But a lot of people that have talked about the game, and there's not many of them, say it's not that good. And that game is Athena for the NES, made by SNK. It's a side-scroller. I guess go check out my Let's Play something. It's been a while since I played it. I just remember I really enjoyed it. Next question is, what game do you think deserves a sequel or modern remake? I would say this is a hard question just because a lot of the games that I think deserve a sequel already have them, but have kind of stopped making them. And that series would definitely be Suikoden. They stopped at 5 for the consoles, and they had a PSP game which never got translated, and the DS game is, in my opinion, the best game in the series, and that's the one I would like a sequel to. Suikoden Tierkris, I would love Suikoden Tierkris 2 on the 3DS. That would be badass. If you haven't played this game, check it out. Highly recommend it. You won't be able to put it down if you like anything Suikoden, that is. That does it for the video game stuff. Let's get personal. Alright, number 6, which is, well, question 1 of the personal questions. Who is your favorite musician or band? Notorious B.I.G. I love his music. I would also say Eminem, if we're going to go with someone who's still alive and still making music. I don't think anybody in the rap game spits like Eminem does. Like, absolutely on a different level. No one's really near it, to be honest. Number 7, what is something you liked as a kid but don't care for now? This was the hardest personal question by far, because if you guys know me, a lot of the stuff I'm nostalgic for and grew up with is stuff I still fucking love. I still love Power Rangers, I still love Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I still love video games, I love comic books, even though I don't collect them anymore. I still love them. I love the idea of collecting them. I just can't afford it. / don't have the space. This one's kind of a cop-out answer, but I guess riding bikes. I used to ride bikes all the time when I was little. Have absolutely no desire to ride a bike nowadays. I mean, I'm fat and... fuck, it's just not fun and expensive, you know, to even get a decent bike. Number 8. What is something dumb you did as a teenager? I don't know if I've talked about this on a video yet, but this is personal. So, me and my friends and I, we weren't the type to, like, go to a party, do drugs, anything like that, get into trouble the conventional ways that you would see teenagers do. We used to do drive-by shootings with water guns, super soakers to be exact. And we used to drive around town with fucking, like, when I say super soakers, I'm not talking the little baby super soaker 50 or 150 or whatever the fuck that yellow one was. I'm talking the fucking, holy shit, you get hit with this, you fall on your ass, fucking bazooka of a super soaker. You gotta hold it with fucking 2 hands or you're not holding it. And we used to drive around town with this fucking super soaker. And we would come across people just, like, jogging at night, walking somewhere, and we'd roll up to them, window would go down, and fucking soaked. I mean, we still talk about it all the time. So fucking, it's something you definitely can't do in this day and age. And if you're a teenager now, don't do what I did. Don't do what we did. That can get you fucked up nowadays. You can get shot. People have cell phones and just, like, snap a picture of your license plate, something like that. You definitely fuck up if you do that nowadays. You can't do that anymore. Number 9, what did you want to be when you grew up? I wanted to be a writer for the longest time, but as I was growing up, I kind of realized how stupid that was, seeing as I didn't write very often, and I never did well in English class either. So any theoretical writing class or any kind of class I could take towards college or in college, had I gone, I can only assume I wouldn't have done very well in that either. So, very specifically, I wanted to be a comic book writer. I didn't really want to write the next American novel because, great American novel, because I didn't even want to read the next great American novel, So, definitely comic book writer, I would say. There were a few times where certain friends I had that were able to draw better than me, which is pretty much everybody I know. I would try and start up stuff with them, but it would never get off the ground. I always wanted to be a writer for a superhero comic or something like that. I think I had great ideas. Nowadays, it's whatever. I wouldn't even try it, but... Oh, what's the next question? Oh, we're on to the last question. And this is the deepest one, I think. And I feel like I've heard a few people answer the same way, and it really has to kind of be the same kind of answer for everybody, unless you're pretty much not happy with where your life is right now. And I'm happy with where my life is. Sure, I could be making more money, but that question is, if you could go back and do something differently, what would it be? And I feel like the main way you have to kind of answer this question, if you're happy with where you are, is you kind of have to say you wouldn't. Because, very specifically, had I gone to college, I would have met different people, I'd have learned different things. I probably wouldn't even be in Connecticut. Well, I might be in Connecticut, who knows. But what I'm getting at is, I wouldn't be here. I probably wouldn't be doing YouTube. I wouldn't even know Alicia. I wouldn't be madly in love with her. And there's nothing I can go back and change that would make that worth it. Like, no money in the world. It's like one of those things, it's too risky. If you ever watched the movie, the original Butterfly Effect, like, you can't really change the past and still have things work out the way you want it to, basically. So, I always think, like, yeah, sure, the easy answer for me would be go back to college, but I wouldn't trade college for where I'm at right now. Just because the people in your life, you guys, Alicia, the friends I still have, are so important to me that I wouldn't want to change that by possibly changing something in my past. So I'm not going to end up tagging anybody on this one. I feel like I'm kind of months behind on this at this point. I feel like Danny tagged me a really long time ago. So if you feel the need to answer this, I consider it like an open tag, or if you want to leave your answers in the comments down below, I'd appreciate that. I'd like to learn more about you guys. So, like the video, subscribe if you're new, and as always, keep it real, Internet. I love you guys.